Hari Om. Welcome to CocoYogi, and this is my offering. So, welcome to being here again in this social practice or practice from afar. Thank you for supporting this endeavor. Well, we see right now that the world is a little bit chaotic. But then we pay attention to what the yogis have been telling us that we need to do in these moments. So we need to find stability. We need to find ease. We need to find what the yogis call to be equanimous, how to bring equanimity into our lives. So let's use asanas, let's use pranayam, let's use the yamas and the niyamas, let's use pratyahara, let's use dharana, dhyana, so that we can find the samadhi, ultimately that position of samadhi or that samadvan, that even-mindedness. We want to find the even-mindedness, otherwise we can lose our minds. We don't want to lose our minds. So we want to make sure that we can control our minds. Our minds, after all, are the ones that give us all the information that gather towards the outside phenomena to the inside phenomena. So welcome to class. Let's continue sharing. I'm hurting because my city of New York is hurting. So therefore, I'm hurting. All my friends that are in New York are hurting. Therefore, I am hurting. But we have to continue. According to the yogis, we have to continue. We have to maintain that even-mindedness so that we can continue helping other human beings. So let's begin our practice then by standing up properly. So let's come to the front of the mat and look at your feet and make sure that the base of the big toes are touching, that your heels are slightly apart. And then I'm going to lift up my toes, I'm going to spread them, and I'm going to relax them. I want to be grounded in reality. I'm going to keep my arms alongside the body. I'm going to lift up my breastbone up so that I can feel my chest opening up, so that I can feel my heart exposed. I want to understand what's on my heart, what is the magnetism of my heart. So I'm going to firm the legs. I'm going to start to create that essence of stability and foundation, keeping my hands alongside my body, my fingers alert, chin level, crown of the head up. I'm going to reach with my temples upward. I'm going to close my eyes. So close your eyes and shift away to the patting of the heels. And then once you feel the patting of the heels, feel the back of your head or the occipital aligning with your heels. Activate the outer hips, so squeeze the outer hips towards the center, so that way it's going to bring a slight posterior tilt of the pelvis. Bring the abdomen in and up, opening up the chest, breast, opening up, broadening the chest with your eyes closed. Now start to pay attention to the now. Pay attention to the feeling of the now. The most obvious way of understanding that is by paying attention to breathing, since breath is happening in the now. So start slowly to feel the flow of breath. Feel the breath, since the breath is the origin and the completion of everything. And there are two movements when we see the breath. We understand the world of duality when we see the breath. There is a prana and there is an apana. Creation requires elimination. So we want to learn how to eliminate with the apana. The action of releasing begins from the area below your navel. So with every exhale, you're going to squeeze gently the pelvic floor. You're going to squeeze the lower abdominal area to release, to, in a way, to eliminate. That's where the organs of elimination are. So pay attention to the organs of elimination and pay attention to the prana. coming in and out. You narrow the back of the throat and you begin to make the inhales and the exhales steady. So we're making the duality into a singularity, into oneness. We're looking for that equanimity, how to bring composure to the breathing, how to be undisturbed by emotions, by pain or phenomena that will make us lose the balance of our mind. We don't want to lose our mind. So bring your palms together in front of your heart and sensing again that duality between the right hand and the left hand. Look for the oneness in front of your heart and bow your head and bring oneness between what's on your brain and what's on your heart. Keeping your breast open and paying attention, what is the desire of your head and what is the desire of your heart, looking for coherence. Whenever you're ready, lift up your chin, you open your eyes, you relax your hands, you release the breath, and following the inhale, let's swing your arms over your head, looking at your hands, reaching to the north, and with an exhale, flex the hip joints and go to earth. You're welcome to bend the knees and touch the ground, relax your head and relax your shoulders. With an inhale, flatten your back, straighten the knees. We create a curvature on your lumbar, and with the exhale, bring the right foot back in line with the right hand. With an inhale, bring the left foot back in line with the left hand, so find the stability in your plank. And with an exhale, mobility, chaturanga, remember to squeeze the apana. Inhale, upward dog. Feeling up the lungs with prana, your heart with prana, and go back to downward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you sense the right hand, you sense the left hand, you sense the right foot, you sense the left foot. You pay attention to the sounds of your breath. We're trying to make sure that your inhales and your exhales are steady, that you are controlling the breath, because the breath is the origin. Is the beginning and is the end that we are creating and we are eliminating through the breathing. So sense the breath, stay alert, listening to the inhales, listening to the exhales, maintaining your composure, fortitude at the end of the exhale. With an inhale, bring the right foot forward all the way between the hand, rest there. With the exhale, reach the left heel to the back, feel the stability. With an inhale, bring the right foot forward to meet the left. And with an exhale, relax shoulders, relax your head, relax your hands. With an inhale, swing your arms, firm the legs, lift up maximally to the north. And with an exhale, we go back to your heart. We go to the Samastiti. Sama, even mindedness. Inhale up, looking for the oneness. And with an exhale, Uttanasana, we relax the shoulders, we relax the soles of your feet. With an inhale, halfway up, let the breath move you. And with your exhale, you follow the movement of the exhale, you bring the left foot back. With an inhale, you bring the right foot back, you prepare yourself in a plank, and then forward and halfway down with control. Then you go forward and up, filling up the lungs with prana. And with an exhale, you go back to downward dog. And you feel the right foot and you feel the left foot pressing down evenly, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that equanimity, that even mind, the even soul. We're looking for composure. We're looking for fortitude. We're looking for courage, because the times are going to challenge us. Then what do the yogis are telling us? Find the sthira, find the sukha, find in the pose, in this downward dog, can you find firmness? Can you breathe yourself steady? Can you feel yourself stable? At the end of the exhale, with an inhale, step forward with the left all the way between your hands. And with your exhale, reach the right heel to the back and bring firmness into the left foot and into the right leg. Now with an inhale, step forward, firm the legs. And with an exhale, Uttanasana with firm legs. Inhale, firm legs, but relax. Feet to the north. And exhale to your heart. Samastitihi. We do it again. Inhale up to the north. Looking how to lift up the torso away from the pelvis. And exhale, flexing at the hip joint first. And then in your spinal column, you flex. Inhale halfway up. And we bring the right foot back in line with the right hand. You prepare your hands. You plant your hands on earth. Left foot back with an inhale. And with an exhale, forward and halfway down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Then you go forward and up. Upward dog. Spreading your fingers and your toes. And then with an exhale, you go back to downward dog. Looking again. In downward dog, in the pose, then you're going to be looking for how to balance the breath and the body. The breath gives rise to action. So pranayama to asanas. When we do the asanas, when we move in the poses, we need to follow the breath. So the breath is the one that gives rise to the action. And then the asana, the body is going to follow the breath. So we are paying attention to that exchange of prana, apana. The prana goes to the lungs. The apana is released from the lower abdominal area, squeezing, eliminating, so that we can allow creation and elimination. At the end of the exhale, with an inhale, step forward with the right foot all the way between the hands. And with your exhale, reach with the left heel to the back. Wait for the breath. So inhale and follow with the left. Exhale and follow and squeeze the lower abdominal area. Inhale, creation, the new molecules to my heart. Exhale, squeezing my lower abdominal area, samastitihi. Inhale, creation. What do you want? Exhale, what do you need to eliminate? So use the elimination, apana. Inhale, halfway up, feeling up the lungs. Exhale, left foot back. In line with the left hand, plant your hands. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, forward and halfway down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, back to downward dog. So we come to downward dog again, and we feel then how the breath gives rise to the action. The breath is the origin. Is the first one, because the breath is the prana, is the life force. So that life force is the origin, life force, and the completion of everything. Because that's what the prana is, that's what the vibration is in the breath. So we need to follow the breath, because the breath gives rise to the action. The action is going to be with the body, but the breath is the one that guides us there. So you're feeling in downward dog, paying attention to the movement of the prana and the apana, the creation that requires elimination. So that we can find that equanimity, we can find that composure, undisturbed by emotions, undisturbed by pain or phenomena, so that we can maintain a balanced mind. At the end of the exhale, with an inhale, step forward with the left all the way between the hands, and with your exhale, reach your right heel to the back. Follow the inhale and step forward with courage, with fortitude. Exhale down to earth. Inhale to the north, sensing, understanding where the north is, and exhale, going back to your heart. Inhale to the north, and exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, follow the breath, halfway up. With an exhale, right foot back. Following the inhale, left foot back. And we do chaturanga with your exhale. Inhale, upward dog. And with an exhale, we go back to downward dog. So then we're looking for how to create actions in life. How to find that sukha in life. So in the poses, we need to find how to bring a pose that is stable, but there is pleasure in the pose, that is firm, but you can feel happy. Those are good tools in life. How to be compact, and how to feel good, how to be joyful, how to be strong, how to be courageous. Because we need to have that courage to find fortitude in adversity. Right now, the world is a little bit crazy. My city, New York, is a little bit crazy right now. So we need to have fortitude in our own spirit, in our own minds, so that we can send our good prayers, our thoughts, our attention to all the people that are there trying to make a change, because it's time to make a change. At the end of the exhale, bring the right foot forward with an inhale. Wait there. Be patient. Inhale, step forward with the left. And with an exhale, down to earth. Inhale to the north, uppermost. And with an exhale to your heart. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, Utkatasana. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Chaturanga, Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Rotate the left foot, bring the right foot forward, and inhale with determination. Warrior one. And Chaturanga Dandasana with your exhale. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, go back to downward dog. Rotate the right, bring the left foot forward, pressing down. Inhale like a warrior. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. So we come to downward dog and we feel again. How can we bring the principles of sthira? Yes, courage. How to be resolute. On the pose, yes, it's challenging. Downward dog is not easy. It requires for you to be completely alert. Completely alert because there is that exchange of creation and elimination. Every inhale is an opportunity for us to bring nourishment, creation. Every exhale is an opportunity to eliminate, to destroy. Yes, you want to let go of what you don't need anymore. That's the only constant in life is change. So you want to change. If you want creation, you have to pay attention to elimination. That's the prana apana practice. Creation requires elimination. So prana to your heart, apana from below the navel. At the end of the exhale, bend the knees, look in between your hands, and jump. And with an exhale, flex the hip joints all the way down. Bend the knees, sit down, Utkatasana, and stand up, Samastitihi. We do it again. Inhale, Utkatasana, and with an exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana with your inhale, and with your exhale, downward dog. Rotate the right, bring the left foot forward. Inhale, warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. And with an exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward dog. You follow the breath. Exhale, back to downward dog. Rotate the left, bring the right foot forward. Press down, and with an inhale, like a warrior. And with an exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog with an inhale. And you go back to downward dog with your exhale. So then we find ourselves playing with that duality. Understanding the duality so that we can bring equanimity, which is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to bring that balanced mind, that how to be even-mindedness, how to have the samadvan, even-mindedness, looking for the balance between the right and the left, the front and the back. So that way we maintain our mind steady. And we can have, once we have the steady, then we can find how to be virtuous. Yes, the planet is requiring from us to bring something different. The world is requiring from us to bring the best of us. And the best of us comes out when we have ease, when we have that sukha, which is the opposite of dukkha. You know what dukkha is? It's suffering. It's uneasiness. It's difficulty. And you know who is in dukkha right now? All of us are experiencing dukkha. But we can transform the dukkha into sukha. So at the end of the exhale, bend the knees, look in between your hands, and then jump. Land with sukha. And with an exhale, eliminate the dukkha. Bend the knees. Yes, it's nourishment. And stand up, samastitihi. Let's do one more of the B. Inhale, Utkatasana. And exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the right foot forward, rotate the left foot. Inhale, Virabhadrasana. One. Chaturanga Dandasana with your exhale. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana with the inhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the left foot forward, rotate the right. Virabhadrasana. One. Chaturanga Dandasana with your exhale. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana with the inhale. And downward dog with your exhale. So we are here then understanding how to bring equanimity into our lives, how to play with those 8 limbs of the Ashtanga yoga system, the Royal yoga, Raja yoga. So the Raja yoga tells us then that the breath gives rise to action. So pranayama takes us to asanas. Action gives rise to consequence, which means that then the asana is going to help us identify yamas and niyamas. The consequence gives rise to contemplation. So the yama niyama gives rise to pratyahara and dharana. Yes, we want to contemplate what's happening. What's happening right now requires all our attention because it's devastating. But remember, creation requires elimination. So you know what's devastating? To let go, to eliminate what you don't need anymore. Yes, we have attachments, so we want to learn. That's what we're practicing, the niyamas. Yamas, niyamas, we want to practice them. We want to learn how to practice pranayama, asana. You practice from the asanas, which gives action. This action will give rise to the consequences with the yamas and the niyamas. The consequences will give rise to contemplation, pratyahara, dharana. But contemplation will give rise to realization so that we can feel that dhyana. And realization will give rise to stillness, samadhi. At the end of the exhale, step forward and jump with an inhale. Straighten the legs, flexion at the hip joints and rounding your lower back. Bend the knees, sit down, Utkatasana, and then stand up, Samastitihi. And we feel, keep again, we go back to Tadasana. Tadasana, Samastitihi, mountain pose. We want to have the essence of stability. Stability and foundation so that we can play with the central axis. The back of your head aligning with the heels. Now that you have that clear, shift the weight to the right foot, bend the left knee, lift up the left heel, pressing the four corners on the right foot, lift up the left knee. With the left hand, grab the left shin, move the left heel to the inner right groin. Dig the heel in, point with the left knee to the left side, and bring your palms together in front of your heart. And now you're playing with the central axis. You're looking right now for composure. You're looking right now for firmness, but smiling. That's right. So you can feel the happiness in the pose. You can feel the stability, like a tree, sensing the stability, creating the stillness. Looking for the equanimous point. Yes, that's what the Bhagavad Gita tells us. Equanimity under all these vibrations. You feel the vibrations as they try to take you. Now move that left knee forward, lift up the left knee up, and then release the left foot. So you want to bring the mind into the process. If your mind goes away, which is what just happened to me, then the pose, you will lose it because you lose the breathing. If your mind goes away, it means that your breath went away. So to control the mind, you control the breathing. It begins with the breathing. Shift the weight to the left foot, bend the right knee, lift up the right heel. The back of your head aligning with that left heel. Press the four corners of the left foot down and lift up the right knee up. You feel this stidham. You're looking for the sukha, which is the opposite of the dukkha. Now move that right heel to the inner left groin and you feel the stability. You're looking for stability. Once you feel that you're grounded, bring your palms together in front of your heart and pay attention to the breathing. Yes, creation requires elimination. The apana begins from the lower abdominal area all the way out. All the way out. So you want to feel the apana pushing upward from the organs of elimination so that we can have creativity in your heart. So you let go. You open your heart for the newness. Sense it. And now slowly move that right knee forward, lift it up and release it. And we feel. Relax your hands, opening up your heart. You sense, you understand how it feels. We're looking for stability. We're looking for that stidham. So now that we started to pay attention to how to create stability, shift the weight to that right foot and you're going to lift up the left foot about an inch from the ground. Keep your arms alongside your body and then slowly we're going to start to tilt the torso forward, and that left leg is going to be moving to the back at the same time. So you're going to start to move the torso forward. You trust, you look for the stability on that right foot. You lift up the left leg, you point with your fingers, you point with your toes, and you gather information about the inhales and the exhales, about the breath. Pay attention to the breath, pay attention to the prana, pay attention to that exchange. Remember, the breath gives rise to action, so sense the breath. Stay alert, gather information, and now slowly come back, lifting up the torso and releasing now the left foot in the ground. You keep your hands solid, you maintain the Tadasana, you maintain the essence of stability and foundation we needed. Now shift away to the left foot. You're going to lift up the right foot about an inch from the ground, so you're tilting slightly. And then gently, just rotating at the head of the left femur, you move the torso forward and you move that right leg to the back. And you listen to the inhales, you listen to the exhales, you firm your arms, you firm your legs. You stay alert about the inhale, about the exhale, gather information about it. Be fluid, because the water has a lot of memory. So sense, pay attention to the pose. What's happening right now? Can you feel the strength in a relaxed manner? So don't let the ego to tell you what's going on. You tell the ego what's going on. Go to the center, go to the oneness. That's the equanimity, so that you can find that realization that will take us to the stillness, to samadhi. Sense it, be clear about it, and now gently come back, lifting up the torso and releasing that foot down. Staying alert, we want to find the stability, sensing, being grounded. Now slowly separate your feet a little bit wide to the outer edges of your mat. You can step back with the left foot. You're going to rotate your feet to see each other parallel with one another. Look at your feet. And then slowly open up your arms at shoulder level, a little bit higher than your shoulders. And straighten your arms and straighten the legs. Now slowly we're going to lift up the ball of the left foot, and you're going to pivot the left foot in. Then you're going to, keeping the right knee straightened, lift up the right heel, pivot up the ball of the right foot, pivot on the heel, and then point with that right foot to the front. Now slowly with an exhale, we're going to go to warrior two. You're going to feel your warrior two, and you're going to be balancing. Again, balancing the apana and the prana. Balancing creation, which then requires elimination. So can you exhale from the lower abdominal area? Can you inhale to your lungs? Can you go a little deeper in the pose? But now feel as if somebody is pulling you in your left arm to the back as you move the right knee to the front. And now gently straighten up the right leg, pivot the right foot in. Inhale, lift your arms over your head so you can calm the shoulders, then open them up again. Now lift up the ball of the right foot, bring the right heel, the ball of the right foot in. Now lift up the ball of the left foot, pivot on the heel, go all the way out. And then with an exhale, let's go now to warrior two on the opposite side. You flex that left foot until you feel that you have a right angle between the left foot and the left shin. You listen to the inhales, you listen to your exhales. You stay alert. You gather information. Feeling the prana, the apana exchange, elimination, creation, and gently lift up. Pivot the left foot in. Inhale, lift up your arms over your head. And with an exhale, forward and down. Now release your hands in the ground. Look at your feet and make sure that your feet are giving you accurate information about how to be solid. Now walk with the hands back until your fingertips are aligning with your toes. If you need to scoop your hands, scoop your hands. Inhale, look forward, moving the breastbone forward With an exhale, flex your elbows and release your head downward. You can move your hands back, or you can feel how it feels. You stay alert. You gather information about the inhales. You gather information about the exhales, because the breath gives rise to action. Pranayama to asana. Action gives rise to consequence. Asana takes us to the yamas and the niyamas. The consequence gives rise to contemplation. So the yama niyama brings us to pratyahara and dharana. Contemplation gives rise to realization, which gives rise to stillness. Inhale halfway up, look forward. Exhale there, hands to your hips. Inhale, lift all the way up. Open up your arms to the side. Feel that. Now with an inhale, lift your arms over your head. With an exhale, move your hands behind your back. Interlock the fingers. Move the shoulder blades forward, up, back and down. Straighten your elbows. With an inhale, lift your chest up. A little bit of a back bend. And with an exhale, go forward and down. Forward and then down. Once you feel that you're going forward and down, move your hands far away from your body and feel then the stability. Feel the stillness. Look for that static action within you. Yes, the action is with the body, but the breath is the one that guides us that. Can you feel how to be compact in your legs? Can you feel how both legs are agreeable? Can you feel the strength of your calves? Can you pay attention to the shins and feel perhaps the light in your shins? Can you lift up the sitting bones? Can you feel your inner arches lifted? Inhale, lift up halfway up. Exhale there. Then inhale all the way up. Exhale. Open up your arms. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, hands behind your back, but this time alternate the crossing of the fingers. Shoulder blades forward, up, back and down with your heart open. Inhale, a little bit of a back bend. And exhale, forward, 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 and then down. Trying to bring your hands to touch the ground. Trying to allow your head to touch the ground. So we are looking at how does it feel? What are the emotions? Emotions change the expression of the genes. That's why we want to control the emotions, because they will change the expression of the genes. So elevated emotions will take your genes to express themselves in a higher level of understanding. In the other hand, emotions, like those survival emotions, will take us in a downward. The genes will go in a downward. They will go to your DNA. You want to change your DNA because you want to change. You need to change the DNA of the planet, and you are part of that. So make the change. Be the change that you want to see on the outside. Inhale halfway up. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Open up your arms to the sides. One more. Inhale. Arms up, elongating, moving the torso away from the pelvis, and with an exhale, go forward and down, and with the index and middle finger, grab your big toes, loop it with your thumbs. Now, inhale, move the breastbone forward, and with an exhale, flex your elbows to the sides, and relax your head in the ground. Lift up the shoulders, lift up the inner arches, lift up the inner legs, lift up the sitting bones. Feel how it feels and follow the breath. Feel how it feels and maintain your awareness into the breath, because the breath is the origin and the completion of everything. So that's the process of prana, apana. The apana vayu, the wind that you want to eliminate comes from the area where you have the elimination organs. So you feel, and you with every exhale, they want us to create bandhas, mula bandha, uddiyana bandha. They want us to learn how to gut yourself out so that you can be open to creation. Creation requires elimination. And once we learn about that balance of the prana apana, we will find equanimity, even mind, even soul, so that we can maintain that composure, undisturbed by emotions, since emotions will change the expression of our genes. Inhale halfway up. Exhale halfway. And inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, bring the heels, toes towards each other. Come to the front of your mat. And relax your hands. And feel the ground. Ground yourself. Bring the back of your head aligning with your heels. Firm legs. Yes, your chest open. Broad in the shoulders. Lifting up the sternum. Chin level. Sensing the essence of stability and foundation. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes, move your hands to your hips, and then bend the knees. You're going to flex at the ankles, flex at the knees, flex at the hip joints slightly, and then shifting the weight to the right foot, I'm going to lift up my left hip joint up, cross my left leg on top of the right thigh, and I'm going to hook that left foot behind my right calf. Then I'm going to square my pelvis to the front. I'm going to move my arms forward, left elbow underneath the right elbow, press your palms against each other, and feel the inhales and feel the exhales. So stay alert, gather information about how to be grounded but arising, how to feel the duality of the prana apana, the duality of creation and elimination. With every inhale, you can generate energy. With the retention of the breath, you can organize that energy. You can send it to the right, left, above, below. You send the energy wherever you need the energy. With every exhale, you can destroy energy. So you, in reality, you can be a generator, an organizer, and a destroyer of energy. Generator, organizer, and destroyer. G-O-D. And slowly pressing the ground. Inhale, lift up, unwind your arms, unwind your legs. Samastiti, he. Hands to your hips, bend the knees. Shift the weight to the left foot. Lift up the right hip joint slightly, so that way you can hook with ease. So then you can bring that right foot behind your left calf. But if not, you can keep your toe in the ground. But if you can, hook the foot, square your hips, move your arms forward in front of the shoulders. Bring the right elbow underneath the left, flex your elbows, press your palms against each other, and look for this stillness. Look for the stillness. Look for the oneness. Look for that emotional and mental posture, because they are related to one another. And the key is in the breathing, because the breath is the origin and the completion of everything. It's the beginning and the end. It's the creation and the destruction. Can you sense the inhale? Can you exhale? Sense the exhale? Can you feel the balance between that strength in a relaxed manner? Can you relax your tongue? Can you relax your face? Can you relax whatever you can relax? And gently pressing the ground, lift up all the way up and unwind. And take a moment to feel the contemplation. Remember, we're going from action. That's right. We begin, the breath begins the action. Open your eyes. Palms together in front of your heart. Samastitihi. Inhale up to the north. And exhale down to earth. Inhale halfway up. Right foot back. Left foot back. Downward dog. You sense your downward dog. You relax your head. Now with an inhale, come to plank. And with an exhale, forward and all the way down. Point with your toes. Okay. Move your hands alongside your body, palms facing down. Keep your chin in the ground. And now slowly, inhale, lift up to Shalabhasana. Lifting up the legs, straightening up the knees, lifting up the chest. Stay there. Sense the inhales and sense the exhales. Sense right now the breath and observe how the breath changes you. The breath gives rise to the action. The breath will lift you or bring you down. If you are here, if you are in the present, you're going to feel that the breath lifts you and brings you down. The breath gives rise to action. And with an exhale, release and rest your head to the right side. And relax your arms and your torso, your shoulders, your legs. But we continue, chin in the ground. Rotate your palms to face the ground. Bring your feet to touch. An inhale, Shalabhasana. Sensing right now how the breath gives rise to the action. Every inhale, you move. Every exhale, you move. So in reality, pranayama gives rise to the asana. And the action will give rise to consequence. Yamas and the niyamas, the consequence will give rise to contemplation. Yes, we need to practice pratyahara and dharana, the withdrawing of the senses, that's right, and how to be in the center, concentration, dharana. But contemplation then gives rise to realization, because that dharana, once you bring pratyahara and you sense the dharana, the center, then you become realized. Is that dhyana, dhyana, and that realization will give rise to stillness. So relax, rotate your head to the left, and feel the stillness right now. You sense the stillness of the body. But remember, the breath gives rise to action. Move your hands alongside your chest. Press the ground. Come up to your hands and knees. And let's go to child's pose. So arms alongside your body. Forehead in the ground. Relaxing your shoulders. And relaxing and looking at yourself. Because we are hurting. The country, the world is changing. The changes are difficult. So they tell us, like in the pose, there are poses that are difficult. What do you need to find in the pose? Yes, the balance between how to hold steady the pose in a good space. So feel it. Move your hands alongside your knees. Press the ground. Lift up the torso, seat in the heels. Feel the breath. Now move the right hand to the outside of the left thigh, halfway. And with an inhale, open that left lung. Move the left hand to the back. And with your left hand, grab the right foot. Or you keep that left hand in the ground. With an inhale, which is the one that initiates the action, I'm going to lift up the torso. And with an exhale, squeezing my apana vayu area, I'm going to twist. And I'm going to rotate looking to my back. Keeping that right collarbone open. Keeping my elbows straightened so that they can give me stability. The essence of stability and foundation. Rotating with every exhale. Sense the inhale, sense the exhale. Pay attention to your plumb line, your vertical line. So you feel and you play with the vertical axis. And gently come back to the front. And let's switch. Move the left hand to the outside of the right thigh, halfway. With an inhale, open up the right arm to the back. Swing the right hand, and with the right hand, grab the left foot. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And with an exhale, rotate and feel then your abdominal muscles Squeezing, especially with every exhale. Remember, the exhale, the apana vayu is squeezed from the abdominal area out so that we can eliminate what we don't need anymore. Lengthen with an inhale, and with the exhale, rotate in the vertical axis, keeping that left collarbone open, the right collarbone open, eliminating. That's what we're looking for. How can we eliminate so that we can allow the space for creation? So rotate a little deeper, one more, maintain your sense of verticality, and come back to the center. And bow to, again, child's pose. Sensing your child's pose. Sensing what we did on your back. We did a back bend, and now we did a twist. And now we're doing a flexion at the hip joints. So we're looking for all the range of motion that we can find with our pelvis. We're trying to create, open the pelvis in one direction, open the pelvis in another direction. That's my intention. My intention is to give you the best that I know. Because by giving you the best that I know, I'm going to be part of the creation. I'm going to eliminate what I don't need anymore, and I'm going to be creation. Move your arms forward, come up to your hands and knees, roll your toes, and lift out to downward dog. Now, if you feel your downward dog, I want you to bring your forearms in the ground and interlock the fingers. Then slowly, we're going to do a few of those. With an inhale, I want you to move your torso forward. And with an exhale, lift out the pelvis back. Inhale, breastbone towards your knuckles. Exhale, towards the back. Inhale, forward, the breath initiate. Exhale, engage your quads. Inhale, forward. Exhale, to the back. Two more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, eliminate. Squeeze the lower abdominal area. One more. Inhale. Exhale, eliminate. Bring the knees to the ground. And let's go to child's pose again. Arms alongside your body, palms facing up. Sensing the inhale, sensing the exhales. Staying alert. Sensing what's happening within you right now. All these poses that we're doing, all this breathing that we're doing, all these asanas that gives us rise to get to the yamas and the niyamas. Those are the 8 limbs of the Ashtanga yoga system. The royal yoga, Raja yoga. So sense it, be clear about it. We brought a little bit of understanding to the shoulders about what we need to do next. So move your hands alongside your knees, press the ground, lift up the torso. And now, if you need to go to the wall, you go to the wall. If you have a block, you can use a block, and you grab the block, place it in the ground. You bring the crown of the head in the ground, the back of your head against the block, elbows down, roll your toes, lift up the knees. You walk with your feet forward, and then slowly, we're going to lift up to Salamba Shirsasana. Activating your breathing, your awareness into the breath, your awareness into the inhale, your awareness into the exhale, the awareness of the equanimity, how to be even keel, how to bring the balance between sthira and sukha. So sense your inhales, sense your exhales, pay attention to the balance of the prana apana, because we want to nourish and we want to eliminate. So sense your Salamba Shirsasana on your head. Equal pressure in the right elbow with the left elbow. Equal pressure between the right elbow and the right wrist. Between the left elbow and the left wrist. Equal. Equanimity. Equality. Equanimous. They all sound the same. It sounds like equal, sameness, the sama. That's why we do the samastiti he. We're looking for the sama. We're looking for the oneness. We're looking for the one verse. We're looking to your individuality, because there is no one like you. But you need to have your mind balanced. So we need to make sure that the breath can help you with that. So listen to the inhales, listen to the exhales, stay alert, gather information about it, and we continue looking for that composure. Composure, being upside down. The world is upside down. Yes, New York City, my city, your city as well. It has been your city. You have been there. And if not, you wanted to come there. That's the city. That's the city of our planet. It's right now hurting. And it's hurting me. And it's hurting you. And it's hurting all of us. So we need to contemplate. We need to find fortitude, courage in adversity. And whenever you're ready, start to come down. You come down really slow. You use the breath. You use the movement of the breath to help you come down. And when you come down, you go to child's pose. You allow your child's pose to rest. You rest your body. You rest and feel the breathing. You keep alert about what's happening right now. Be clear about it. Now slowly move your arms forward. Come up to your hands and knees. And let's go to your belly. Completely to your belly. Good. You can lift up the right arm over your head. Let's rotate and come to a supine position. On your back. Feel how to be on your back. With your fingertips, graze the back of your heels. Shoulder blades down. Press the ground with your hands and with your feet. Inhale, lift up the pelvis. And then interlock the fingers. Press your elbows to lift up the shoulders. Bring the shoulder blades underneath. Straighten your elbows. And feel the breath. The breath is the beginning and the end. Prana apana. Every exhale, you squeeze the lower abdominal area so that you can eliminate. Is where the elimination organs are. The apana, elimination. The prana is creation, but creation requires elimination. Lift up the heels a little bit higher, and with an exhale, release the pelvis down. All the way down, and you feel what we just did. You stay alert. You gather information. And now, slowly, I want you to bring the right foot on top of the left knee. And with an exhale, release both knees to the right side. Open up the left arm to the left side, palm facing up. And allow now the body to rest, going in two directions. But nevertheless, we're looking for the sukha. We're trying to eliminate the dukkha, the misery, the discomfort. So use the breath. Use the apana vayu to help you. And gently lift up. Release the right foot a little bit wider than your hips. Bring that left foot on top of the right. And with an exhale, release now both knees to the left side. Open up the right arm, shoulder level. And keep the right hand moving to the right. You want to look to the right. And you want to feel how it feels. You relax completely. You let go. You surrender. You dissolve totally. Feeling how it feels. Staying alert. Now with an inhale, lift all the way up. Now bring both knees to your chest. Bring your forehead to touch the knees. Rock yourself back and forth. And come up to a seated position. Relax your hands on top of your knees, on top of your thighs, on your lap. Keep your chin level. Keep your eyes closed. The breath gives rise to action. Action gives rise to consequence. Consequence gives rise to contemplation, contemplation to realization, realization to stillness. Open your eyes, palms together in front of your heart. My brothers and sisters, together. Namaste.